And she has a new exhibit starting at February 4th at Shenkman Arts Center called Find Wild Horses, Find Yourself. Let's say hello to the very incredible Sandy Sharkey joining us here. Hello, Sandy.
Well, it's nice to be with the very incredible Dylan Black.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. We go back a few years, but that's a whole other story. Now, wild horses, obviously, you like horsies.
I don't like them at all, actually.
What is it about horses that you love so much?
Well, ever since I was a little girl, whenever I saw a horse in a field, you know, growing up in Ottawa on Alta Vista Drive, my dad would take us for Sunday drives and I'd see horses and I would just start to cry.
Really?
At the beauty of them. So I've loved horses my entire life, and many years ago I was drawn to wild horses specifically.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just wild horses. These horses aren't owned by anybody? They're just out there?
They are completely wild, and a lot of people don't know that wild horses still exist, but they do. And I discovered my first wild horses in Alberta when I was in my 20s. Mm-hmm. And now all I do is travel around the world, actually, looking for wild horses to photograph and to advocate for their protection. That's a big part of what I do, because wild horses are in trouble in many areas of the world.
Okay, so let's talk about the many places you've seen wild horses.
Okay. Yeah. So here in Canada, we have wild horses. Some of the most beautiful and well-known wild horses in the world are on Canada's Sable Island in the Atlantic Ocean off Nova Scotia, and I've been there 8 times now. In Alberta, in the Rocky Mountain foothills, there are absolutely gorgeous wild horses. We have wild horses in northern BC, the American Southwest, many states from New Mexico right through to California. I went on a 67-day wild horse road trip to photograph the horses there. Wow. And I have photographed wild horses in New Zealand, Mongolia.
My goodness.
Yeah, I'm going to Bosnia in the spring to photograph the wild horses in the mountains.
And here we are with some of the photos, and that's incredible. I mean, and look at this. Where would this have been taken, these shots?
So we just saw some, the Mustangs that were standing up were stallions in the Great Basin Desert in Utah. And that family right there is a beautiful Sable Island family band. That's a Sable Island mare and her foal. And these are some of the images that will be featured at the show called Find Wild Horses, Find Yourself. I'm very excited about that, coming up at the Shenkman Arts Center.
How many pieces will there be on display?
I'm going to have 9 pieces. They're large in scale. I've never done them this way before. Yeah. And they're on metal. They're beautifully printed. I'm really happy with them. I went and picked them up at the printer the other day, and they're, you know what, they're stunning. And I'm not saying that, you know, in a bragging way. I'm more talking about how the beauty of the horses comes through, and that's really what I wanted to do with this show, was showcase the incredible magnificence of wild horses. Is
there a reason why they're in black and white? Because I notice most of your photos are.
Yeah, because color is more expensive to print. No, I'm kidding. Okay. I'm totally kidding.
It's an honest answer.
When it comes to fine art, I think horses are one of the most beautiful subjects in the world. And when you see them in black and white, it really adds to the starkness of them. It eliminates a lot of the clutter of the background, where wild horses are in magnificent places. They're on mountaintops, and they're by the ocean, and they're in the desert. So taking away the clutter of the background is what I pretty much wanted to do with this show. So black and white lent itself really well for that.
How close do you get to these wild horses?
You don't get close. I'm glad you asked me that question, actually, because a lot of people ask me, you know, it seems like you're close to them. You're not.
Obviously, it looks like it.
You're not. And any wild horse photographer that has, you know, a lot of respect will definitely maintain quite a buffer between you and wild horses, because they need to stay wild. As soon as they start to have a comfort zone with humans, that's when they get into trouble. So I keep my distance. I have lenses that are as long as your arm, or both of your arms together, actually. And so when you see a close-up, like I have a lot of wild horse close-ups, I'm far away from that horse. I've just zoomed in on those eyes and that face.
You also host the photography workshops.
Yes, I this year specifically, I'm doing a lot of teaching, and I'm really excited about a workshop that's coming up in Alberta. It's going to be at the end of May, first week of June. We still have a few spots available if anybody wants to join me, but what we're doing is we're bringing experiences with domestic horses together with coming with me into the mountains to find and photograph wild horses. So it's the first time that's ever been done before, and I'm really excited about that. And as I said, we have a few spots available for that.
That's fun. 30 seconds left here. How do these wild horses make their hair so beautiful? Do they have tips?
Mother Nature does that.
They have some beautiful hair, I must know.
Fabio. Yes, Fabio wild horses. Yes.
This amazing exhibit is Find Wild Horses, Find Yourself, and it's taking place February 4th to the 23rd at the Shenkman Arts Center, of course, in Orleans. Thank you very much, Sandy Sharkey.
Thank you so much, Dylan. Appreciate it.
Just so incredible to have you here, and wild horses, pretty cool. I keep thinking about the Rolling Stones, Gino Vanelli.
No, it's the Stones, not Gino Vanelli.
Sorry.
The Stones version.
Sandy Sharkey. More daytime coming up on Rogers TV.